What's up, YouTube? This is Sparta, and today I'm bringing you guys a video on how to not rage. Now, this is probably going to be extremely hard for some of you to pick up just due to the fact that habits are hard to break. But keep in mind, they can be broken with practice. And I say this in all of my tips and tricks videos. Practice is key. It's boring. It sucks. Nobody likes practice, but that's what's going to get you to the point that you want to be at. If it's anything in life, you have to practice to get to where you want to be. Now, first off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this gameplay that you're going to be watching. I actually, I do pretty well. I was slaying them out, just primarily going for kills at the beginning of the game until my team started losing. I had to start playing the objective a little bit to help bring us back. But anyways, these guys on the other team were raging super hard, and I'm actually thinking about making a completely separate video just with their reactions, just due to the fact that these dudes were pissed off, and it was absolutely hilarious, and I think you guys will like that. So, first off, if it doesn't matter how, what you are raging at in the game. For me, if I'm going to be raging, especially if I'm, playing competitive, I'm going to be raging probably at my teammates, basically taking frustration out that I feel, for myself on my teammates, saying that they weren't in the right position or something like that. And that's wrong of me to do, but it's a habit that I've gotten into, and I'm personally trying to break that habit of yelling at my teammates. And it's kind of rough to break these raging habits. And for me, the only way to do it is when something bad happens, stop, think for a second. Should that have happened? Was it your fault that it happened? Was there any possible other outcome? Because many people rage when they lose a gunfight that it's clear that they're going to lose anyways. Okay? And you have to realize this. I don't rage when I lose a gunfight anymore. Unless, of course, the person that I lose to is the host and I have first shot. And that really ticks me off. But anyways, you have to stop, breathe, and if anything, laugh. This is it's actually proven that you will decrease your tendency to get angry. Even if your laughing is fake, it will still release the dopamine to your brain, giving you that happy feeling. And you won't, over time, you will see that you are going to be raging a whole lot less frequently, just by the simple fact that smiling and laughing makes your brain happy. Now, these things, for me, if I'm angry, I just don't say anything. And number one, that's so that the other team won't know that they're getting something out of me. And number two, because I don't want to be screaming at people. That's what I hate. I hate playing with people who rage all the time. And I'm sure you guys probably hate playing with people who rage all the time as well. And this way, you won't be that guy. Okay? And, a lot of people who rage all the time, they're actually pretty good players, but they let the smallest things get to them. If they lose one gunfight that they really should lose, and they get extremely angry, what does that prove? That you can get angrier than them? Because, to be honest, in a game, if you die and you think it's dumb, and obviously it is dumb because it's a video game, okay, we can all tell ourselves that. It's not real. It doesn't really truly matter in the long run. There's just going to be a next game, a next something. And, don't let it get to your head. That's the main thing. So if something bad happens, just go with it. Like, I know it sounds hard to do, but just go with it. If you are in a situation where you are, like, mad beyond return, okay, mute your microphone and let it out, okay? But when you're doing that, you're basically just giving in to raging, which is what I'm trying to help you guys not to do. So once again, I recommend smiling or laughing if you're angry, even if it's like completely fake and you don't even know why you're laughing or you're smiling, whether or not it's just because the kill was so stupid, or like in my case, like I'm just not playing smart. So I don't know. I do recommend smiling or laughing though, because that's helped me quite a bit. Like I find myself just not talking at some points in the game when I'm angry, which is obviously better than straight screaming, because nobody wants to hear that, unless of course they're a troll, and then everybody wants to hear that if they're a troll. Don't give it to them. Don't feed the trolls. Okay? And your teammates don't want to hear it, especially your teammates, because for me it's so annoying when I'm playing with a buddy of mine and they just freak out all the time, and there's nothing they could have done about it in the first place. Nothing anybody could have done about it. And I don't know, they just let it all out, and they're still not good, because the second they die again, they're going to get mad again, and it just keeps building off of itself. If you get mad at one thing, you're going to get mad at the next thing that happens, and then the next thing, and eventually you rage quit. Okay? This is exactly what trolls want. They want you to rage quit. Or just scream at them a whole lot and make them feel good inside for being that type of person, which I do enjoy trolling occasionally, just because it's so easy to do with people not knowing how to control their anger. Now, if you do finally learn how to control your anger, then congratulations. You have finally reached the level where you can accept something that happens in your life. And to be honest, in any other aspect of your life, are you just going to, like, say if you're in school, are you just gonna, something bad happens, or you're just gonna stand up and yell at the teacher and like tell them that was crap and stuff like that? Probably not. But if you do, you're gonna get in trouble. And especially if you have a job, and if your boss says something to you and you can't take criticism, don't rage at them. Okay, that is you're going to lose your job, and that's a fact. So once again, just don't say anything. Either take it or smile and laugh it off, because this will help you, number one, not rely on people to calm you down, like a therapist, I guess you could say, like a psychologist. And it's based solely off of your mental strength and how you can persevere even when you're angry. And for me, I think this shows a lot of character. And it shows that you're a mature person. So, once again, as I've repeated it over and over again, either don't say anything, smile, or laugh. These are basically the three best ways to not rage. And they're pretty much proven. Obviously, not talking, you're not going to annoy anybody, you're not going to feed the trolls, and really, people respect that. But the problem with not talking is if you consistently don't talk, then that's definitely an issue if you're playing competitive, because you need to communicate with your teammates. You need to let them know what's happening. But definitely try smiling, try laughing it off, and if neither of those two work, mute your mic, rage, or just practice not saying anything, which is what I do. And I should probably work on that more, because when I do rage, I get extremely angry, and people that I play with definitely know when I'm angry, because I shut up for like the entire game, or I'm screaming into my headset, and nobody wants to be in a game with somebody who's screaming. And to be honest, when I rage, whether it's like at a teammate's decision, whether it's at myself, but I'm taking it out on somebody else, whether the other person is host and they just warrior me, or really, like, I guess in public match, if somebody's using C4 with a riot shield, the odds of you winning that gunfight are about, you have basically about a 2% chance. In my opinion, you have about a 2% chance to win that, because there's just that small little window where their shield kind of moves out of the way for you to kill them. And that is probably the main source of people who rage. They rage at riot shield users, and I can definitely see why. Number one, they're kind of like not fair, because they absorb all that damage, and you don't know when they're gonna remove the shield. So I see a lot of people rage at people who use riot shields, but think in your mind, like, am I going to win that gunfight ever? Probably not. Is it that big of a deal that I lost that gunfight? No, it's not. It's all about not raging. Is basically about having mental processes going in your head, thinking about either your odds of winning that gunfight, or like why you are raging in the first place. Because if you know why you're raging, don't do whatever it is that made you rage. Okay, if it's losing a gunfight, practice. And I'm going to say it again as we reach the end of the gameplay. 3 biggest tips: either don't talk, smile, laugh, or if push comes to shove, mute your mic and then just let it all out into either a pillow, or if you live alone, then annoy your neighbors some. But anyways, this is my spiel on how to not rage. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stab that like button. And as always, this is Sparta, and I'm out.